Today, we are going to tackle one of the biggest debates in gaming. What is actually a good MMORPG? Now, here's the thing. This is a very personal topic. For me, a good MMORPG is one that captures the spark that makes you want to log in every single day. Some of you will agree, some of you might not, and that's okay. After all, MMORPGs are games for everyone. But that means they need systems and mechanics that work for very different kinds of players. And to understand what makes a good MMORPG, we first need to understand what those players are. So let's start here. Richard Bardow, one of the pioneers of online games, created a framework that still explains MMORPG players perfectly: the four player types. Now, real players are usually a mix of those, but the model is super useful. Let's break them down. Achievers. They are the ones grinding dungeons for weeks just to get that legendary sword and then standing AFK in capital city so everybody else can see it. We all know one of those players, and if you don't, it might be you. For achievers, a good MMORPG needs strong progression, leveling that feels rewarding, gear, upgrades that matter, and achievements that make them proud. Explorers. Explorers are the wanderers. They don't care about grinding mobs. They want to know what's behind the waterfall. They thrive on hidden quests, mysterious lore, Easter eggs, puzzles, basically anything that rewards curiosity. They are the ones writing 3000 word forum posts about how the torch in Zone X is secretly connected to the ancient ruins of Zone Y. For explorers, a good MMORPG needs a world with depth and secrets. No flat maps with nothing to discover. Give them mysteries and they will never stop searching. Then we have the socializers, the heart of the community. For them, the game isn't about combat or loot. It's about people. Hanging out in taverns, running guild events, role-playing, helping new players. They're the ones keeping chat alive at 2 AM. We all know those people. And honestly, they are the reason why MMORPGs feel like worlds instead of single-player RPGs. Without socializers, MMOs would feel like empty theme parks. A good MMORPG for them must have strong guild tools, chat systems, player housing, events, basically the social glue that keeps everyone together. And finally, the keywords. Relax, not the actual keywords. We are talking about PvP players. They thrive on competition, arenas, battlegrounds, sieges. They love testing their skills against real players. For them, PvE bosses are just tutorials. The real game starts when another human is on the other side of the battlefield. But if you don't balance things properly, keywords can overwhelm the game and drive socializers away. Nobody wants to log in just to be spawn camped. So, a truly good MMORPG doesn't just pick one of those groups, it finds balance between them all. Achievers needs goals, explorers needs mysteries, socializers needs tools, keywords need competition. Get the balance right and you build a foundation of something really great. Now, let's talk about the open world experience, and this, for me, is where MMORPGs either shine or flop. A good open world feels alive, not just a map with quest markers, but a place filled with secrets, surprises, and danger. It's the thrill of finding a hidden treasure chest in a forgotten ruin. It's stumbling across a mysterious NPC who gives you a quest you have never seen before. It's wondering what's behind the mountain and actually finding something there. But the open world isn't just about exploration, it's about player interaction. Imagine open world PvP events, huge spontaneous battles between guilds fighting for control over territory, or bounty systems where a player can hunt down notorious outlaws, or even guild wars spilling into the wilderness. Those are the moments that makes world feel unpredictable and alive. Not everything should be scripted. Sometimes the best content is the chaos created by other players. And all of this brings us to something just as important: community. Look, you can have the best combat system, the most epic raids, even the coolest world, but if the community is toxic, the game won't last. Period. A healthy community is the lifeblood of any MMORPG. It's the guilds that recruit new players and teach them the ropes. It's the role players who breathe life into the cities, turning them into more than just quest hubs. It's the people who organize in-game weddings, fishing tournaments, or holiday parties. it's just because they can. Role players especially deserve credit here. They take the world you built and make it their own. They create stories that spread beyond the official war, keeping the world alive in ways developers could never plan. But here's the thing, community doesn't just happen. Developers have a responsibility. A good MMORPG needs tools for communication, guild management, player expression, and yes, strong moderation to fight toxicity. And most importantly, the developers themselves need to listen to the community. When devs respect players, players respect the game. The back and forth is what transforms a game into a living, breathing world. Now, let's talk about difficulty. Too many MMORPGs hand players everything on a silver platter. Kill 10 boars, level up, repeat. That's not challenge. That's busy work. Now, look at Elden Ring. I know this is not an MMORPG. That's a game that exploded in popularity and it's famous for being hard. Why did it work? Because every victory felt earned. People didn't brag about finishing it fast. They bragged about finally beating one boss that they died 37 times. Challenge creates stories. Stories creates pride and pride creates loyalty. MMORPGs shouldn't be afraid of making the things difficult. Replace the boring grind with meaningful challenges and suddenly leveling itself becomes an adventure. And if we are talking about challenge, we can't skip combat. Combat is at the core loop of any MMORPG. If it feels bad, everything else crumbles. And in MMOs, there are two main styles. Top targeted combat, the classic style. You lock onto a target and press kills. Slower but more tactical. Perfect for warge raids with lots of mechanics. Action combat. You aim, dodge, block and react in real time. Fast paced, immersive and great for PvP or small group fights. Which is better? Honestly it depends. Top targets is like a chest. Action combat is like fencing. Both are fun in the right context. But the most important thing, combat has to be readable, dynamic and fun. If players are literally falling asleep on their keyboard, you've got a problem. Okay, let's get spicy. Monetization. A good MMORPG cannot be pay to win, period. The second players can swipe a credit card for power, the trust is gone. The sneaky part, many MMOs disguise pay to win as convenience. Boosts, loot boxes, gear skips, you name it. The best model is simple. Sell cosmetics, expansions, optional services, fund the game without breaking the experience. Players should never feel like their wallet is more powerful than their sword. And finally, innovation. The MMO genre can't just recycle the same formula forever. Players need something fresh. One example is mobile clients. Now, don't freak out. I'm not saying replace the PC version with Candy Crush MMO edition. I'm saying add companion access. Imagine logging on your phone just to check the auction house, chat with your guild or do a quick daily while you're waiting on your pizza delivery. That's not a downgrade, that's convenience. And convenience means more players sticking around. More players means bigger population. And in MMORPG, population is everything. Nobody wants to play in a ghost town. So, what makes a good MMORPG? Let's put it into a checklist. Things it needs to have. System for achievers, explorers, socializers and killers. A living open world with secrets, PvP events and surprises. A strong, welcoming community with tools for guilds, role players and communication. Developers who actually listen to their players. Challenge that makes victories meaningful. Combat that's clear and dynamic and fun. Fair monetization, cosmetics, expansions, services. And innovation that keeps the genre alive. Now, the things that it should never have. Pay-to-win mechanics, mindless grind with no real challenge, toxic communities left unchecked, empty soulless worlds that feels like lobbies instead of living places. If an MMORPG checks the right boxes and avoids the wrong ones, that's when you've got something truly special. Now, I want to hear from you. What's your definition of a good MMORPG? Drop it down in the comments and let's get the conversation going. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, subscribe and stick around for more MMORPG discussions right here in my channel. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.